Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Neil Haley Show. Two interesting guests. I have one guest that's on the line, and we got to quickly get on the line. So, again, go to my website, totaltutor.net, for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Total Tutor, Pinterest, and Google Plus, Neil Haley. And I'm excited to welcome to the program 5 times New York Times bestselling author of Red Sox Nation, Peter Golenbach. Peter, thanks for calling, and how are you?
I'm just fine, Neil. Just fine.
I tell you, Peter, when you're talking about this Red Sox book and you're looking at the whole history, but you're really delving into the characters of what the Red Sox are, that's a fun book to write, isn't it? Because, I mean, the
It's
history of the Red
fantastic.
Sox and all that, yeah.
I've been interviewing Red Sox players now for 25 years. So I've got in this book some of these people who played in the 20s and in the 30s, and all the way through. So it's been a real thrill.
Oh, absolutely. And what would you say, one of the most franchise histories of baseball, right? The Red Sox, when you talk about
clearly.
baseball, for sure.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. No question about it. I mean, it's the Red Sox had the very, very first dynasty, really. They won when Babe Ruth was playing for them in the teams. They won in 15, 16, 18. They were champions. And then, of course, as you know, the owner of the Red Sox sold Ruth and a whole bunch of other players to the Yankees, and that kind of was the end of that for a while, for 86 years.
Wow. So selling Ruth and all that stuff, did you go back to Babe Ruth's career at that time as a character before he was sold?
Oh, sure.
And, yeah, tell us a little bit about that, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Babe Ruth was an interesting character with the Red Sox because he came up as a pitcher.
Right.
And right from his rookie season, he was one of the finest pitchers in the entire league. I mean, Ruth, you could argue, was the best pitcher in Red Sox history.
Yeah.
I mean, Clemens obviously was a great one too, but before Clemens, Ruth was a superstar. The problem that the manager had was that Ruth could hit the ball a mile, and this was the dead ball era before they tightened the ball.
Right.
And so the quandary was, do you pitch him or do you put him out in the field, either at first base or outfield, and have him hit? And his teammates kept, telling the manager, hey, let's get this guy out there every day. And that really happened in his last year as a Red Sox. And then, of course, he was traded to the Yankees.
Oh, my gosh. And so he only was a great hitter for 1 year. What character type of stuff? We all know some of the stories of Babe Ruth and movies and stuff like that. But what is something our listeners might not know about Babe Ruth when he was a Red Sox? Like the way he interacted with the team and stuff like that, and his average day. Yeah.
Well, his roommates never saw him.
Really?
I mean, he was a night owl of the worst and best order. He had phone lists of women in every town where the Red Sox went, and he was known for, coming in from his nightly activity when everybody else was going to the ballpark. And it created a certain amount of tension on the Red Sox because he was a young kid, and they wanted him to get his sleep, and they wanted him to stop, fooling around. And yet, he'd come in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the next day he'd hit 3 home runs. So it was a little frustrating for these people because he was such a fabulous, fabulous ball player despite his nighttime activities.
Definitely. And how can any athlete do what Babe Ruth was able to do? I mean,
Without a
party
doubt.
all night and then still. Imagine if he was resting. What kind of numbers would he have put up?
Well, it's hard to know that it's hard to imagine he could have been any better.
Yeah, there's no chance. And one of the things I think that we look about now, the Red Sox, and look in the characters now and how, you had it down here this year, which is a shock, but the years of winning with the Red Sox after so many years of not making it big time. Right. I think thinking about after the Boston bombing and that team winning the World Series, thinking of the characters, thinking of how Boston really relied on that team as part of their healing process was huge, I think.
That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. David Ortiz and what he got up and he had to say and the way he played ball and led the team to victory was a tremendous healing process for all of New England. Really was. And you know, you can read about that in Red Sox Nation too. I come all the way up to their last World Series victory.
Wow. And it's interesting when you talk about David Ortiz. What kind does he remind you of Babe Ruth in a way? I guess not the carousing, but I guess the showmanship and stuff like that. David Ortiz. What is your thought on that?
Well, he right now he's the face of the team.
Right.
And you know, it's not unfair to expect him to hit 35 to 40 home runs every year. That's especially in this age where the pitchers seem to be in control. That's pretty fabulous.
And have you gotten to interview him a few times, Peter, in your career writing for the Sox and stuff like that? Have you gotten the opportunity to sit down and chat with him?
I actually haven't had a chance to chat with him, but he's certainly vocal, and I've quoted him plenty of times.
Is he? It's interesting.
Oh, he's a fascinating guy.
What would you say before them winning the World Series again after 1918? What other characters would you say that were really interesting in your book? I mean, I'm sure all of it, yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, the face of the Red Sox for 20 years, of course, was Ted Williams.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Talk about Ted, yeah.
One of my favorite people who ever walked the face of this earth. One time he called me over to his house, and he sat for a couple hours and told me why Joe Jackson ought to be in the Hall of Fame, which was, you know, just to spend a couple hours with Ted was absolutely wonderful.
And learning about Ted and I guess how amazing a hitter he was, but yet as a person, any interesting character that learned about Ted as a person, for sure?
He was a very sensitive guy, and the writers, when he came up, treated him terribly. And that was a shame, because when the writers treated him terribly, of course the fans got the sense that he wasn't a good guy. And that's just not true at all. He was a young kid, for crying out loud. And what, you know, Ted resented was the power of these writers to paint him in such a way that was, in my opinion, rather unfair. The interesting thing, of course, is that once Ted retired, he then became a pussycat. I mean, he could have run for governor of New England and won. Oh, he was so incredibly popular. And just a wonderful, wonderful person. I love the guy.
Interesting. And so did you, with Ted, so you basically, he was intense on the field, and with the media, was kind of shy in ways and got told he was...
No, he was like, you know, if you remember Roger Maris with the Yankees, I mean, Roger just wanted people to leave him alone. And Ted was the same way. You know, he didn't trust them. He always felt that he was being misquoted. He felt they were unfair. And he wanted them to leave him alone. But, of course, you know, when you're the star of the ball club, that doesn't happen.
Well, Peter, again, it's so interesting just to talk to you for a bit, but summarize in like about a minute some of the other things. You cover the Red Sox in Red Sox Nation all over the gamut of that historic franchise, don't you?
Absolutely. You'll love it if you're a Red Sox fan.
You'll love it. And Red Sox fans are all over the country, too. I'm sure you're excited about the book and going out and promoting it all over the country, too, right? For sure.
Absolutely right, Neil. Yeah.
Where's the best place we can find information on you, Peter, learn about the book and all those different things? Where can we go?
Well, you can go to Amazon. You can Google me. Yep, you can go to Amazon. That's about the best place. I have a website, Golenbach Books, but I haven't played with it in about 6 years, so it's kind of an old website. But you can go there if you want.
Any social media, Peter? No.
Social media?
Yeah. Do you have
I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook.
At Peter Golenbach? Is that your Twitter handle?
What's that?
Peter, is your Twitter handle at Peter Golenbach?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. All right. We'll tweet it out when it airs the syndication, Peter. And it was very interesting talking with you, and look forward to reading the book and continue to discuss Red Sox and all those different things. And thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
It's really my pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, take care, Peter. Okay, bye-bye. All right, that was Peter Golenbach, and a quite interesting interview we had with him, learning about specifics of Red Sox Nation. I like learning about Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, all those different things. So when we get back, we have another really interesting guest. You're watching The Neil Haley Show. We'll be back in just a moment.
Andy Amrine, EV True Value Hardware, with the Bethel Park Volunteer Scholarship Fund. This prize here that my fellow producers and I are standing behind is a Weber SP310 stainless steel propane barbecue grill.
We have the greatest stainless steel Weber grill in history. Come buy these $1 tickets right now.
These tickets are available now at multiple Bethel Park locations.
Tickets are available every day, 7 days a week at EV True Value Hardware.
Here at the front desk at the library.
Tickets are also available at BPTV's offices during regular office hours. If the lights are on, come on in. We're friendly. We promise. We'll sell you tickets. Who's doing that?
You heard the locations. I am a location. Come and see me or out in the streets. On my show, you get the talking machine going with buying $1 tickets everywhere.
Mayor Allen will pull the winning ticket during the regular council meeting on Monday, June 8th, live on BPTV.
Thank you for supporting the Bethel Park Volunteer Scholarship Fund. Buy your tickets today.
Or else.
Hi, I'm John Bauer from Tri-Community South EMS. Did you know that National Consumer Protection Week is March 1st through the 7th? There are more than 23,000 reports from around the country of incidents or potential incidents that happen with products in the home or products that you are thinking of buying. SaferProducts.gov is a website that the Consumer Product Safety Commission operates. It gives consumers a place to report and read about unsafe products. The website also provides information on recalled products. Remember, you have the power to protect your family and friends from unsafe products by going to saferproducts.gov. This safety tip has been provided by Tri-Community South EMS, the EMS service for Bethel Park, South Park, and Upper St. Clair. For more information about Tri-Community South EMS, our CPR classes, and Speakers Bureau, visit us at tcsems.org.
Hi, it's Neil Haley, the Neil Haley Show, and no caller today. I have a studio guest. Again, you can go to my website, tolltutor.net for more information. Twitter, Toll Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Toll Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, and Google Plus, Neil Haley. And it's interesting when you venture out nationally, internationally, but also locally, and when you hear about somebody that has big news coming up, especially looking in expansion, especially when you're talking about the World Wide Web and different things and how they highlight education. So I'm excited to welcome to the studio Marianne Reed Anderson. You're from Swanson Publishing, the executive director for Swanson Publishing, and you Northern Connection magazine and 55 Plus magazine. Marianne, thanks for stopping by.
Well, thank you, Neil. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. And as you were saying, that I'm the executive editor of Northern Connection 55 Plus magazines. They're produced by Swanson Publishing. And the Northern Connection is the whole, from the North Shore through Butler, Fox Chapel through Swickley. And but 55 Plus is more all over the Pittsburgh area. But as you were saying, with the whole World Wide Web and our online presence and social media, we're finding that our content, our magazines are reaching a much bigger geographic area, especially a lot of Pittsburghers that have moved out of the area. They like to go to the website where we have features. We've also incorporated a special widget, I believe it's called, to download the magazine, and it'll download directly to any reader, your computer, your Kindle, you know, and you can read it that way. We're finding that as we've are incorporating all these new aspects of the area and current news and technology news and featuring the education, that it's just flying off the shelf. have both magazines. So we're encouraging your viewers and everyone to go ahead and go to the website, and listeners, and go ahead and go out to the website, northernconnectionmag.com. You will have features out there. You can download the magazine and have it on the road. We're currently reaching quite a large demographic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So basically, stepping back as the executive editor for Northern Connection magazine and 55 Plus and things like that, tell me specifically your background and why you are involved with these two magazines. Tell us about it.
Okay, yeah. I've been a professional writer for throughout my career. It started out as a technical writer for high-tech firms, including IBM, Microsoft, and things like that. And so I started with the magazine a few years ago writing a tech column that was kind of more like techie gadgets in the house and explaining like QR codes and what are these fuzzy squares and must-have mobile apps and everything. And so then when the opportunity presented itself, I was given the position of executive editor.
All right, and why Northern Connection magazine, especially for our viewing audience and also listening audience in the North Hills area? We know it's a very, very popular magazine. It's something that when people pick it up, they love this. The different articles are involved, but also just the components for families, for sure. So tell me specifically why Northern Connection and what makes you so excited about being part of this.
It's been just an absolute delight. Well, the company is founded by our publisher, Marian Swanson Piotrowski, and Northern Connection is in its 16th year now.
Wow.
55 Plus is in its 4th year, and it's just a great team to work with. And Marian is so dedicated to bringing the positive information, creating awareness of products, businesses, schools, technology, everything that's going on in the community, and bringing positive news so that it gives people the information they need to make decisions about schools, businesses, products, and so forth, and making our community such a wonderful place to live and work, and what's going on.
What's positive in the community when you don't see that in the news always, and you don't always see that with different write-ups in newspapers. This is a place where we're going to highlight what's great going on with this community.
Right.
We're going to go into the education portion at one point, but tell me specifically some of the other types of articles that are in Northern Connection. We know the education section, which I'm interested in learning more about. But tell us specifically some other things that people could, when they check out Northern Connection magazine, could see either via online or also with the magazine.
Oh, well, in the magazine we have various spotlights. For instance, we have a business spotlight every year that every month that covers a local area business that might be new or is doing something different. We had one called Hey Baby that is a sonogram. So you can 4D sonogram, and you can. Then there was also one on a lot of our content is on healthcare, and from rehab, to Genesis Medical, to UPMC and Allegheny General Health, and we also do a great many features on in addition to education, but some fun things, like we do some trivia, and we have our town crier who gives us some history about different topics every month, and so we have fun as well as educational. And
then you see a variety of people who pick up the magazine, right?
Yes.
That's the nice thing about it. When you're trying to focus on the great northern part of the community of Pittsburgh, there's so many things to highlight and so many different people to catch their interest in specific things in the magazine.
Oh yes, it's just a whole bevy. We do the arts, and do the children's festival and the children's festival outreach programs, and we just are very family focused. We have several free listings that include highlighting various movers and shakers, and we also have in the community that are doing various things, and then we also have a whole happening section. Any kind of charity, nonprofit. If they're having an event from fish fry to a walkathon to a rummage sale, we do a whole free listing of everything that's going on in the area. And then that reaches into the education section, where we have movers and shakers specifically in education, and then we highlight a particular student Mover and Shaker of the Month. And that's a bigger write-up about just the amazing things that these kids are capable and are doing. You know, Megan Carcase from Our Lady of Sacred Heart, you know, Jane Fusco from North Hills School District. They're just incredible, over-the-top kids. And then in the education section, last year I started a column on innovations in the classroom. It started out as just one of my technical articles, all about, you know, smart boards and the kind of technology that they were using, iPads. But then as I was talking to all the schools, it's just amazing how they were using it. And this is one of the things that's out on the website, is the whole year of columns of these incredible things, you know, to encourage
they
the
never die
STEM.
because they're online.
Right,
Before the magazine's gone, you can't find it, and it never had that online print. Now basically, oh, I was in a magazine, but by the way, where's that magazine? We can't find it. But now with the World Wide Web, and especially putting it on as that online print version, it can be spotted based on Google searches, but also the ability to download it or read it in your reader and stuff. That's great because, oh, you missed my article 3 months ago.
Right.
Well, you can check it on and it'll live forever, which is so great about television and radio. And especially when it's on the internet, it lives forever. It doesn't disappear.
And we've taken certain steps to integrate both media as well, including the social media. But for instance, I write a monthly column. I picked a little bit of a hot topic, like the NFL being tax exempt. We got a lot of feedback from that. And I call the column Starting the Conversation. And then I ask people, what do you think about that? You know, and please go to my blog, Continuing the Conversation. And then we can have a dialogue. I can get feedback, and we can, you know, maybe bring about some change.
and see, that's the great thing. And then you said trying to build that the connection social media wise, because you talk about the online, people Google, but so many people are on Facebook, so many people are on Twitter, that now there's the opportunity to keep this conversation with the people who are in the magazine, the businesses, the different brands, plus also your readers, to stay connected and ask questions and say, what do they want to see next in Northern Connection magazine? That's fantastic.
Yeah, and the other way we integrate is that we'll have call to actions at the end. So if people want more information about a specific topic, we can then point them to the website in the print, but then that's an active link, and then they can actually go to that actual information on the online and in the print versions. So the great thing, like for instance, my co-conspirator, Paula Green, who's a writer and editor with me at the magazine, she's wrote an article in the upcoming April edition, since April is Autism Awareness Month, about a great new technical gadget that's a wrist strap that is designed for anyone with like children with autism to seniors with dementia, anyone prone to maybe wandering off. It is a tracking device, and there's all this information about that in the article, and then there's a link to more information and how do you get one of these and how do you sign up for the program.
So we've been talking so far about Northern Connection magazine, a lot of different things. Go to the website, check it out, but also 55 Plus magazine, 55. Which for our viewing audience at BPTV, wherever or anywhere in the Pittsburgh area, you can pick this up, which is fantastic. And tell us a little bit about 55 Plus. Yeah.
55 Plus is, we've focused the information. It's designed for that sandwich generation that so many of us are in, you know, from the adult kids, grandkids, and up to taking care of our elderly parents. And it's a lot of educational articles in 55 Plus. How to become a golfer, how to plan and do your finances for retirement, how to plan and enjoy your retirement, really. In our most recent one, Franco is on the cover, we have an article on how to become a snowbird, which since it's snowing out today is kind of prevalent, and that's been a big positive feedback. We've got a lot of people saying, I've always dreamed of this. I didn't know it was a lot more affordable than it is. It is very doable, and we're going to have some follow-ups to that on how to become a snowbird. And, you know, how to become a golfer, how places to take the grandkids all over the area, you know, since this one, the print one also has a wider reach. This one you can also download. I'm very impressed with the demographic use of the Kindle and the Nook and the computers, and it's we get email. And it's definitely that kind of focus on how to plan and enjoy your retirement be this sandwich generation who's taking care of everyone, and how to remember to take care of yourself.
How long has 55 Plus magazine been out?
It has been out. We're in our 4th year, and it's a quarterly, so it'll be a spring, summer, fall, winter.
Oh, interesting. So, but another thing to keep you busy with different things going on, things like this. Yeah. And I think that the social media component, so tell us the best places social media-wise, first of all, Marianne, for people to get involved in social media and the website right now.
The website is northernconnectionmag.com, and also we have the Pittsburgh, it's Pittsburgh 55 Plus, all one word, .com. And then when you go to these websites, you can connect to all of the different Twitter, Facebook. We have tons on Facebook. We also have our newsletter is way popular. That is emailed to you. It's an opt-in choice for the newsletter, and the statistics are off the charts for opening the newsletter and clicking through to the magazine. We're in a very high, like 20th percentile. You know, for 20th, 30th percentile, which is just people are definitely want to get at that information.
Staying busy, it seems like. And also for yourself. Is there a place we can find information on YouTube, Marianne? Do you have
sure. I'm on LinkedIn, and welcome to connect to me on LinkedIn. And we're looking to expand. Of course, have more of a Pinterest. One of the business spotlights we had was Over the Bar restaurant, and it's has a bicycle theme. They're on Carson, but they're on the south side. But they're also just opened up a really cool one in the Boathouse out in North Park, and so that kind of they come to mind because they really use social media well.
Great.
And a lot of people are liking our Facebook page because we have daily updates of what's current, what's happening, and a lot of it is the charity events and festivals and things that are like kind of low money fun or no money fun that really very family oriented, things to do with the kids and the grandkids and get out and about.
Well, thanks for coming by, Marianne.
Thank you, Neil.
And look forward to having more news with her and find out more information. Again, you can go to my website, totaltutor.net, for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook. Interesting guests we had in studio, and we also had on the phone on this week's show. See you next week. Some more of the Neil Haley Show. Stay tuned by going to my website or tweeting me at Total Tutor. Take care, everyone.